and run it.
All right, Emilio, you guys did right. Keep it rolling.
No, PW, don't be sorry.
Thanks
It
for
was
coming
me.
through, bro,
It was
man.
my
Nice to
fault.
meet you. Darren with Dreadnought, Phil's co-host. I've seen you coming through. Dude, I admire you a lot. You got a lot going on over there. You're a busy man. I know that.
Yeah, I am very busy.
I'm
But
Yeah,
very
thanks for
grateful to
making
have
time
you as
for
a
us.
guest. This is exciting. Y'all stand by for a good show tonight with Emilio, Big E.
yeah, I gotta say, man, homeboy, I support the homie here. And nice to meet you. Your homie here is one of the nicest guys in the game, bro.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, he damn got me emotional with that little V unit. Um, the hell's the word I'm looking for right now?
Subscriber pull. I was trying to push some
Oh, that subscriber
subscribers,
code.
man.
The V unit testimonial. That shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. And he knows I'm a tough guy.
Yeah,
Some people think I'm arrogant, cocky, whatever. But that video made got me a little emotional.
Dude,
oh man,
he's the Yoda of those promos. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I
He's the
appreciate
guy.
that. That
He's
that means a lot, man. I didn't expect that reaction. I just wanted to do something. I reached out to other people in the crew, the main active ones, and said anybody else you want to share it to, just feel free. And just wanted to put something together to try to pay you back. And how can we pay you back? Is like get you some other subscribers, get some other people to kind of listen to
Yeah,
what we learn about in the group.
that was really nice of you, man.
But I
That
tell
my
you what,
pleasure.
when I'm ever in a better position to be able to be a part of the V unit, I will be there. But on that note, I get all that knowledge from him filtered
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Hey, I got you, bro. It's cool.
Yeah,
We do what we can.
you bet, you
Um,
bet, and we appreciate you.
Damn, where was I going right now? I want you guys to know that I can count with my hand the amount of podcasts and lives I've done. So, um,
I've heard.
I support you, Doug.
Thank you.
This is very special, man. Very, very honored for sure.
That's super awesome to hear. That's I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was such a rarity. I really didn't,
Maybe
honestly.
four,
No shit. Really.
and
Ooh.
now it's probably just one.
Right.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
awesome. We've had really great luck. So let me just, to people that are watching, it's a lot of our day ones in here checking this out. That's who always rolls in early. Remember when I first hatched this crazy idea to you and we spoke on the phone and I said, hey, I just kind of joined the V unit and I didn't want to be that new jerk on the block and step on any toes. And I love Trap Talk and I love watching it. I have watched it for a year and I always catch it. And it's just like, I didn't want to seem like I was trying to be Trap Talk 2.0 and I didn't want to piss you off. And so I was like, is this cool if I do this idea? Which I must give credit came from Dread. I've just run with it. Dread hatched the idea. And you said, you know what? You even got kind of playfully like offended. Like, no, dog, do your own thing. You got to find your own path. You do your own thing. And you said advice was to have animals on screen and just keep it live and keep it going and do my own thing. And that, and I kind of felt really good that I had your blessing, so to speak, because I didn't want to be that new prick on the block and to kind of step on toes. And so
Yeah,
since
everyone.
you were cool about it before week 1, what is this now, Dred? Week 20, week 21? We've been 5
Yeah.
months strong now. And
Yeah.
we're damn near booked through February. I just got to pencil people in. I got yeses. We landed a huge yes today. Marcus Jane is going to be on
wow,
here.
that's great, man. That's one of the people I look up to, man. That's great, guys.
Yeah. Billy
Yeah.
from Mutation Creation is going to be on.
Oh, that's great. That's great, man.
People tell us Bob Vu gave me his home address and his gate code. I just didn't get the ride to work out. I was not in control of the ride situation when I was in Atlanta, but we're just going to forward it to another time. People trust me, and it's just like I'm humbled, like I'm nobody. And so it's just like amazing, all these connections and doors that open. And the more people we meet and the more kind things that are said, it just kind of
Nice.
makes,
Hey, it's nice to be humble, but don't be too humble. All right.
yeah.
You got plenty of experience. You're doing amazing. You're a nice guy. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, bro.
You're very supportive. You're one of the nicest guys out there. That's all I can say. Uh, you know,
Well, what do
He
you,
is. That's a fact.
it's nice to come on TikTok and I feel like on TikTok we're reaching a different audience. So, it's nice to blend, you guys' platform, and then maybe connect the V Unit, connect the Trap Talk Reptile Network.
Yep.
Maybe we could get some people, from that side over here and from this side over there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. A
Right.
complete exposure, complete coverage. I think it's really great, man. It's mandatory nowadays, and I think that's very, very true. Do you with the social media stuff and the networking, don't you feel the game has accelerated, and then shed testing has really taken that acceleration and put it on steroids in the last 2 years, even above the last 10 or 15 of social media?
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Yeah, we're going super fast now. Shed testing gives us plenty of different avenues to reach our goals. Um, like myself, I bred a crystal head monsoon to a bunch of recessives. I got to test a bunch of stuff, got to keep a bunch of stuff. So now I'm in the monsoon game, uh, and with some powerful shit. Yeah, there's some stuff that won't test, but bro, think about how much stuff is gonna test, positive for monsoon that has head exanthic, head ultra, head clown, that has fucking OD, uh, fire. Some of my favorite incomplete dominance. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. And then this year, what I did with that is I had a het monsoon female growing. That way, I have a chance to hit my visual. This year.
Kyle, I think, is wanting to ask a question in the comments. Whoever
Yeah,
this
Kyle.
Thompson
Emilio's in control.
individual is.
When do we want to let Kyle have a box?
When do
Because
we
you know
want
when he
him to
starts
ask a
talking,
question?
he ain't gonna stop. So
I feel like you guys decide that. I mean,
no.
It's about you. It's about you right now.
I'm trying to
no,
shirk my
no.
responsibility.
No, listen. You guys decide when you guys want to bring Kyle in. It's your show.
Okay.
Oh, I'm teasing
I
you.
love
I'm
Kyle.
teasing you.
I love Kyle. Kyle and me are homies. So
No, I'm teasing you, man. I know it's all good.
Yeah.
yeah.
We just roll with it and try to have fun all the way around, like y'all do, goof around,
What do you think the biggest takeaway is from the way the game is speeding up? What's the biggest thing a new breeder trying to make the next level should take out of that? Is it to, I think we've learned the hard way a little bit, Dredd and I, to buy less animals but higher quality. Take your budget, instead of 10 animals, get 3, and go forward with a better product to put your resources in. But what do you think is a big takeaway for other people that they could, as they want to try to get to the next level and start to vend and start to have a presence on morph market? Should they spend more money on shed testing if it makes sense, or should they buy ad campaigns, or just vend shows, or get merch, or what do you think the biggest step is now?
It's hard to get into the shows, depending on what state you're in. What I would say is make good investments within your budget. Get into projects that you absolutely want to hit amazing animals with. Not only get into stuff that you feel like will sell, you have to get into stuff that, and I know this is said many times out there, right? And it's repeated. You have to enjoy what you're freaking, when you open that tub, you have to really enjoy what you're looking at. You're going to be picking up poop. You're going to be raising animals.
Yeah.
To me, the animals, I don't move on from my animals fast. I raise my animals. I'm passionate about raising my animals. I can't move on from them as fast as other breeders. So I ensure that I'm getting into stuff that I'm passionate about.
Yes.
It's made me very successful.
Okay. Basically, when you open that tub, you got it right, and you look in there, oh man, that's it. That every time you look, that's
Or
what
it
he's
has to
saying,
be
guys,
something,
right?
or it has to be something that's gonna make,
or that combination is going to make that wow
that it has
you're
me
looking for.
already super excited about what's coming. In the future.
Man, I'm going to put her with him, and this is what we're going to get. I mean, you're just excited every time you go through the rack thinking of that. Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a lot of work to raise the animals, man. A lot
It
of
is.
Yes.
a lot of care, a lot of feeding every week, cleaning every week, fresh water. I mean, watching them, watching their rhythm of growth, how they're progressing. Sometimes they're not progressing at the level you want. Sometimes you have to give that animal extra care. So there's a lot of work that goes into this. So you have to ensure you're buying stuff that is going to stay and work towards your future.
Just this afternoon, I got into the well. I finally got Cypress Gene in the house, so I've got Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, Cypress Clown cooking, with some visuals on both sides of it. So
I
I'm
fucking
really
love
excited about that.
I fucking love Cypress, man.
Yeah, I've been wanting it for a while. Cypress and Puzzle and Scrambler were kind of high on my hit list.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You like Scrambler?
I don't have Scrambler. I hatched an animal that I'm gonna keep just in case because it has a weird vibe to it. Uh, Real orange, an orange that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So, I'm not speculating that it's Scrambler, but I'm not closing the door either.
What
So
do you
yeah,
think of the argument that Scrambler is just some line of Orange Dream? What do you think
um,
about that?
listen, I'd be speculating.
Yeah, because it's not tested, right?
Yeah, I'd be speculating, but there are people that say it's connected to OD. There are people that say it's connected to Calico. I don't have enough information. The information I do have is that it's been popping up in collections. So why can't it pop into others?
Yeah.
We all
It's
have to be
popped
vigilant.
up. You mean kind of spontaneously,
Yeah,
like a surprise?
spontaneously, yeah,
No doubt, really.
Weird. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, Calico and Orange Dream and even Fire or Vanilla just play. It was just Super OD. They just somehow just really work well with Scrambler. I mean, it's a striking animal in my opinion.
Yeah, no, beautiful stuff. I can't wait to see an Exantic Scrambler.
Haha. Right? That would be.
I want to see a Desert Ghost Scrambler. I don't know if Hypo Scrambler's been done, but in my opinion, what Scrambler is doing is amplifying everything it touches.
You know what
I think it's going to amplify every single gene it touches.
I want to see a super scrambler. That's what I want to see.
Well, there's our surprise
It's the
guest,
one, right?
Mr. Kyle Hoffman. There's our surprise guest tonight.
What's up, man? No, what I wanted
Welcome,
to ask
Kyle.
you, what I wanted to ask you was, okay, so the shed test isn't like 100%, for the monsoon, and they're not like at 100%. But how many sheds did you send in? The animals you thought were gonna be like at that super high percentage, like you could pick those out, huh?
One so far.
Only one.
One is 98% het that I did not expect to be het, and then one that I expected to be het is not het.
Okay.
But I have to say, I am gonna keep the animal because it has features in it that it's hard for me to believe it's not.
Yup. And I mean, they're getting some of the testing is not one, I've had a friend test multiple animals multiple times, and sometimes they came back yes, and sometimes they came back no. So he decided to keep the animals and is just going to do the same as what you said, work with them anyways.
I need evidence. If I see stuff that I have never seen in animals, I'll keep it.
Yep.
Because they're half of the pairing is from animals that I've kept, that I've had, and I've produced animals from. So I could see a difference. So what I'll tell you is one of my animals tested visual. So, I mean, that one's for sure het monsoon. It's an incredible animal. I love it.
Yep.
It's a fire het monsoon that I thought was also het clown, but it's incredible. So that one tested freaking visual.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not blaming this on any of the testing companies. I'm just thinking there's something up with monsoon in general.
1 second.
Huh. Hey, I know a little bit about your rodent facility and how you operate, but something I've really never seen Don't know if it's nearby you. Do you ever? Can we ever see your racks? Do you want to explore some animals or show us anything, or is that out of the way?
It's downstairs. I don't really.
Oh,
I typically what I do when I show animals is I bring them up here and all that. But
oh, all right. Yeah, no worries.
honestly, I'm not a fan of putting the animal on camera because I feel like the animal is not given the justice it deserves.
Where you find a still photograph, and you've coached us in the group on
Yes, I
how to.
like stills. I like stills
Yeah.
and some videos. Right, if you do a really close up on the animal, I love close ups. I zoom in. That's how we learn.
I like
A
real.
guy like Kyle. That's how we learn color palettes and patterns and little nuances that some people do not.
Yeah, and I know the answer to this, but tell everyone that's watching, like, when you want to photograph, how you found a way to emphasize a sale, how you get an animal to sell itself is sometimes you said good photography is a big piece of that, and a still image like on Morph Market, photographed in a certain manner, and how you present your animal, not all balled up in a wad or held in your hand. But can you tell us about why that photograph works? Is it just a track record of sales, or what do you think? Is it just what do you think about it?
Kyle, check this out. I'm kind of, I like to get people's attention, right? So in my chat, the way I get people's attention is simple. I say, you need to spread it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I want to see it all.
Yep.
It's that simple. I want to see the whole pattern. I want to see all the features on the animal. That's what I look for when I'm buying an animal. I want to see body, how the body composition, everything. I want to see it all. I want to see the pattern. I want to see everything. So that's what I do when I take pictures. I pretty much take it at an angle. And I mean, guys like me and Kyle, we've been doing this a long time. So
Yep.
we're professionals at this shit.
What's really crazy is, okay, so I don't know if you remember Rafi Martinez. He used to do all those videos for Kevin.
Yeah.
He recommended me a camera. It was a $900 point and shoot, but it's like a DSLR without all the crazy features. Now, that I don't like that camera because what happens is it's like Ozzy's photos, it's like Justin's photos. They're using such high-tech cameras with such high-tech programming and editing stuff that the animal looks almost like a cartoon character, and when they get it, it doesn't really look the same as what it looked like at online. I like to take like a more natural picture under like a daylight. Like I take all my pictures literally on my floor of my snake room with daylights, the white LED lights,
Yeah.
natural, 90% of the time natural, no flash even, and then I just size it so that I can fit it into Morph Market because I don't want to take pictures and the person is, because I've seen some of these pictures and then I've seen some of the animals when people have gotten them, they've taken pictures. People were disappointed. I don't want people to be disappointed. I'd rather have a picture that's a little less great and they get the animal and they're like, hell yeah, rather than get the animal.
What I could say to that is I use my iPhone.
I do too.
I don't have time to be uploading and changing and doing this. I take the best picture I can with my iPhone under great lighting, and I ensure the animal matches perfect.
That's basically
And
what I do.
and I've never had a customer unhappy with the animal. Anything. I don't play with the picture. I don't do anything to the picture. I center the picture, and that's it.
Yep, that's about what I do too.
Yeah.
Just because I don't, like you say, oh, you got to take it. Then you, like when I was doing that, like if I had 100 animals I had to put up or 50 animals, when I did like 30 to 50, like that would take all day to take a photo with that fancy camera, bring it into the editing software, resize it, change, sometimes change the lighting, all that kind of stuff.
There's no time for that.
Like, man, it's all day, literally.
Yeah.
Now I just take my iPhone out, make sure that there's no like dust on the floor or anything, put the animal on the floor, make sure it looks good, take a picture, and literally upload it to Morph Market like immediately.
Yeah, there's no time for that, bro.
Right. Okay.
I have to say
Okay.
this. I have some extra frozen thawed hoppers, and I've been using frozen thawed. Bro, there ain't no time for that shit either.
Yeah.
Bro, that
I
shit's a
talked
pain in
about
the
that.
ass.
I talked about that a lot lately with people.
Fuck. Hey, bro.
Yep.
Hell no.
Yep. Put it in there, walk
But
away, come back later.
but I will say this.
And thanks everybody for the gifts, whoever sends them.
But I will say this though. It's fucking. It feels really good when you've assist fed an animal for a month and a half, 2 months. It eats for you finally, and then it eats frozen thawed. That shit's a flex.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That's
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Some of these animals are weird though. Like I had a pastel enchi quad het, and I put a stupid paper towel roll in there. That's all I changed, and the thing started pounding food. Like I didn't have it in there, and then I put it in there, and then it just took off like crazy.
You say head down with an exposure on the back when you have it on a flat surface, righty? When you photograph, you want the head down and the
Yeah.
animal's body up,
Yeah,
coiled in the S.
you want to be able to see the face of the animal. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that this one's cooperating because it's not on a flat surface, but that was I thought a great coaching. I've tried to change when I take pictures, try to change my skill a little bit when you said that's how you should do it, guys. Face down, spread the snake out, and that helps sell the animal. You sell the animal, and that's still photo. I mean, it makes a lot of sense over the video and what Kyle's saying when you have so many things to do to
And
save
like
time.
a little pose, Like
Yeah.
a little sexy pose.
All right. Good tip.
Face down,
try
hands
to
up.
get. Hey, when I get those poses, bro, the animal sells in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't always get that. It's hard. Sometimes you'll get a shy ball that just doesn't want to cooperate. But when you get those little aggressive, poses, that's pretty damn cool.
It's so funny how something so subtle can make a difference between making a sale or not making a sale. You always get one chance to make a first impression. When someone clicks on your ad, that's it.
Yeah, a good picture, guys. A good picture can make or break you.
But I want to tell you something else about that. It doesn't matter if it's a good picture. Can I see more photos?
Oh man, what's one? I'm gonna tell you guys this.
You already know.
You know what I hate? When they ask for a fucking video.
Or they ask for a video of it eating. I've had that too.
Oh,
I haven't had that yet, so I'll be expecting it. Okay.
I haven't had that in a long time. But when they ask you for a video, like, why do you need a video, bro? Or they ask you to see the parents.
Mhm.
Like, bro, what?
Oh yeah, I've seen all that. We're not doing chondros here with the pedigrees yet.
Cecil, yes, it's part of sales. It is. I got you. But
Right.
I mean, if you got amazing pictures of an animal, body composition's on point, it looks beautiful, the healthy weight is there, you got 4 different angles, why do you need a video?
Yeah.
I do it, okay? I always do.
I have done it.
But it's kind of like, ugh,
Only if
Yeah.
someone asks. I've had it a few times, but not very often.
Yeah, and then I have to say this. Out of those video customers, I would say 20% buy.
Really?
Yep.
It's like you say if someone holds a snake for more than 10 minutes at the table at the show, they're not buying.
Camilla, the problem is it's time. It's
yeah.
time. It's
That's the other one. If they're holding
Oh,
the snake at
look
the
at
show
this. It's so pretty.
for more than
Oh.
20 minutes, that's like a swan song goodbye. That's like they're getting the most they can out of it, and they know they're not buying it.
Well,
And bro, I might, guys.
Imagine this: if you had 30 people that did that to you in the same day, and you never saved the photo or the video, if it was, think if it's a different animal every time. Like, we ain't got time to be. That's what reptile shows are for.
Yeah, I have to say this though, because some people in the chat or watching might think, "Oh my God, these guys are being rough." No, it's just you deal with so many people that sometimes you're like, "Oh, come on, man!" Like,
Morph Market has a black feature now.
yeah, some people are just not serious. So, where was I going with this?
Post here on TikTok. I
Yeah.
know. I'm not good at it.
I lost my train of thought. There was something I wanted to share.
Talking about how keeping their interest and showing the animals, we're at a show, the interaction.
Yeah, it'll come back to me. You guys go ahead.
That's why I say though too, like doing the shows. When you do a show, people, that's why you do the shows. So if people want to save their money and they don't want to get it from online, or at least sometimes I've had people say, well, I want to put a deposit on it and I want to look at it at the show and I want to make sure it's really what I want. And I'll say, well, if you put a deposit on it, it's a non-refundable deposit.
Yeah.
You know.
So what happened with this whole
Camilla,
dust
the
up
problem is
on
we don't
Puzzle?
get more money. We don't get more money. We take all the time, and then they offer you 30% less of what you're asking. That's the problem.
Look, overall, most customers are amazing. I am blessed. We are blessed. Me and Kyle, we are blessed to do what we do.
Yeah.
There are little moments. Human beings, all human beings are not perfect. We're not perfect. We are human, and there are moments where we get a little bothered.
No,
Oh yeah. You could be a brain surgeon. You could have the best calling in the world,
Yeah,
and you're as happy as can be.
If we put effort into a customer, it's just nice for at least them to say, "Oh, look, I'm sorry. I decided we're not gonna take the animal and whatnot. Not just leave you, not just ghost you and stuff." That's
Right.
I just I've even had where some people waste my time so much that's like 50, 60 emails answering all these questions because they don't ask them to you in one email. So they constantly are asking you and asking you. The problem is like, man, I've even gotten threatened by Morph Market. If you don't pipe it down, we're going to ban you because you can't talk to people like that.
No, yeah, you have to be professional.
You know what I mean? I went off on this one dude. Like, it was
Hey, Extreme, you mind to hop down for me? I probably invited you in the wrong box there. I'm sorry.
Hey.
For weeks, this guy bothered me.
Yeah, guess what? Block him from your page.
You're right. You can just block him.
It's over.
Thanks, Extreme. Sorry, Brian.
I've had to do that. I mean, I'm new to this. Y'all know that, right? And on the TikTok platform, I've had it in
I've probably done that to one person.
Yeah, I had
Morph
to. It was
Market?
nonstop.
Yeah, because listen, I'm patient, man. I take care of people. I'm a fair guy. It takes a lot to get me mad, but when I get mad, I get really mad.
Right.
Yeah, I had to just so I didn't get to that point and be mad and say something right. And
yeah, Dread, you produced what this
with
year?
a good reputation and do this thing right and be professional. And so, yeah,
you try, but sometimes it
happens.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you try to do everything professional, and even on their end, all of a sudden they just start poking.
Right.
So what I tell my people is keep it nice and short. Give them all the options that you're willing to give them, and put it all on the table.
More than what they need to know.
Let them decide and move on.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it.
You're right.
It's a transaction.
Yes.
And once it's a sealed transaction, I offer everything they ever need. If you need anything, I'm here.
Yep.
That's how I roll. But you have to finish the transaction.
Yep.
That's all. Don't play around.
I know both of you guys are a fan of the True Ghost Project, and I've heard you say multiple times on your show, Emilio, about that's really, you think, where the market's next big hottest thing is going to be is in True Ghost.
It's yeah.
What's another one that you think that is trending in a direction that's going to really break out big? Not like Cantaloupe or Gorilla or some kind of niche thing, but what do you think's the next big trend like Clown or Desert Ghost has been in recent years?
That's a good question. I think Lace is one, but we know that. Damn, you got me. I Cosmos, Scrambler, Paint is hot right now. I don't know. I think there's not one thing.
There's one coming back. There's one that you didn't mention.
What's that, Kyle?
We talked about the True Ghost, but honestly, the hypo is coming back.
Oh, hypo is hot as fuck, dude. Hypo's scorching.
Yeah,
It's not
hypo
even
is
started
to
yet.
me.
It's not
Hypo's,
even started yet.
to me, hypo's top 5, bro.
Oh, I think so too. It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
one of my top. It's been my top 2 probably.
I'm so happy to have a couple of I only have 20 ball pythons. I've got 3 Brazilian rainbow boas, 2 going on 3 chondros. I don't plan to. Thanks for the glasses, guys. I don't plan to have a
That's
massive
cool.
collection. And nice, there's the real deal.
There they are.
I'm happy to have a couple of head hypos and a couple of visuals that I really, they're just stunning. And hypo, as Justin of Ozark Mountain Moor says, hypo the world.
Jamil, what's up?
Yes. How's that baby, Jamil? Everything going good at home, I hope.
Hey, God bless your family. The new dad. New dad's in the house.
Just for Christmas, my little girl was born on Thanksgiving, so that first Christmas a month later is super special. That for baby's first Christmas, ornaments and all the good stuff. It's a great time.
Yeah, I wish, bro. Listen, I want hypo all over my collection.
Yeah. No.
Probably 80 to 90% of my projects are hypo. I do have another one that not a lot of people are working on, and I'm trying to really do some things with it, which is Axanthic Ultramel. It changes the overall look of the Ultramel. It makes the burgundy colors like a little bit lighter, but it also makes that dark orange like a cream color.
And I tell you, Kyle, I saw one hit in Europe that was very true ghostish, and I was so impressed with that animal that I almost went that route, but when I saw some of the others, I kind of shied away.
I have a double visual Axanthic Ultramel, but then I also have Tide's triple het Ultramel Axanthic Clown. That
Wow.
I'm
That's
really
stunner. Thank you, Angel. It's very kind of you.
I'm really trying to do that because there's just not a lot of people doing it.
No.
That's one of the reasons. You know, I mean, it might not be the next best thing or like, but it's going to be my thing because not a lot of people are doing it. Where that's, you know.
Someone asked about zebra. What do you think about zebra, guys?
I won't say.
Yo, say it. Come on.
Hey, honestly,
I feel the same about puzzle as I do about zebra.
I'm not big on zebra, bro. I think I saw an OD zebra I really liked, but it's not for me.
No, and the zebra clown, I think Justin is gonna when he gets the Enchi out of that zebra clown, I think it's not gonna be really that great, like what he, you know.
Hey, listen, I hope it's beautiful. I hope there's some amazing combos with it, but so far for me, it's not for me.
Tri-stripe clown, puzzle clown, like.
Dude, I love Tri-Stripe.
Hey,
I want to get into the Tri-Stripe game so bad.
Jen, both me and Kyle are VPI till we die.
Yeah,
So is Jen.
I honestly, if I had to start all over, I'd probably go with MJ. But since there's more versatility with the VPI, you can go and buy them.
Hey, we still have a lot more to see with the MJ line. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Some things might not be that great once you start.
BJ.
You know, there might not be no different.
V Unit, Morph Valley, V Unit.
Man, Freddie.
That's right.
We got to see how many people we can keep in here the whole time. Right now, we got 40.
Yeah, we've been hovering from 30 to 45 the whole time. It really hasn't changed a whole lot. Likes have been steady. We're up at 20K. It's been pretty steady as far as traffic. We actually hold a really good viewership. We hold double the average, and we run a 2-hour show generally. We hold
Let's
double
keep
the
the
average
questions
time.
coming, guys. What's up?
Yeah, let's keep it going. Keep the interaction, guys. Smash that.
So I love
show some love. Share
puzzle,
this.
hypo, Mojave, red stripe. I love that combo. I saw it a few weeks ago, and I thought it was really amazing. What don't you like about puzzle, Kyle?
I don't like it because I think you can get the same look with Cryptic. And, well, not... I want to do it with Krypton because Krypton is more better with Clown. So why would you... When you can breed a Krypton to a Clown and you can get all Kryptons and you can get all Clowns, why would you want to work with Puzzle?
Why does everything have to have clown in it?
We got a couple questions here.
It's just more versatile to me.
All right. What about pandas? Quartz Exotics. I produce pandas. The only problem with pandas I've had is that a lot of them are coming out solid white.
Uh-huh.
I'm using Alelic combos like with Cine and Black Pastel to avoid some of the kinking and some of the problems. But I'm avoiding those problems and I'm getting mainly white animals. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I mean, it's worth the risk for me. They sell well, but damn it, I want some with some saddles.
Yes.
Guy pied or super blackhead suma pied stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just behind on that. I thought by now I'd have all those animals. It just hasn't worked out yet. Yeah.
What do you think on sunset combos? I know, Emilio, you work some sunset combos. What do you guys think about the sunset combo? Where it's at right now, it seems to be sunset ultramel pied, but what do you think next?
I'll let Kyle answer that and then I'll go.
I like the Sunset Ultramel. To be honest with you, I had Sunset, but I sold it, and I had an adult female, and I sold the triple hets. The people that bought the triple hets hit the Hypo Sunset Clown out of it.
Oh.
And I think they maybe even hit two, but they were with pastels. So you kind of pastel with the sunset by itself is awesome. It looks better as an adult, but pastel with the sunset and the clown together is not where it's at, really.
No.
Before I hit the sunset, what projects currently on the market you see holding increasing value over the next couple of years? I think True Ghost stuff is going to increase in value, or at least hold where it's at. I don't think those animals are going to lose value for quite a few years.
No, and I've had people already ask me about those ones, and I'm like, man, I don't want to. What kind of deal can I get on two? And I'm like, dude, I'm not giving no deals on these.
Yeah. Right.
Thanks for the gift, guys.
So I focus on heavy hitter males, and I raise females that will have a broad value to my collection for years to come. Getting back to Sunset. Sunset, I have Sunset. I have Sunset Dreamsicle Project, Sunset Exantic Pied Project. I'm gonna eventually get into Sunset. I got some Sunset Ultramel stuff hopefully coming. Sunset is a challenge that I'm willing to take. Some animals, I don't like putting a bunch of dark genes into Sunset because it's already dark. So I'm gonna focus on brightening it up. The only animal that I took a little bit of a risk on is the Exantic because it hasn't been done yet, and I want to see it.
I've thought about that when I had mine. I thought about it. I talked to Shelby because he had a lot of Axanthic and he was getting into the sunset stuff. And I said, man, try it. I said, because I didn't try it. And I'm like, man, I really want to see what that does because you're like fighting against it. The Axanthic takes out the brown, but the sunset gives it more like a reddish brown. So what's it going to do together?
Yeah. There's a group of at least 5 of us that have animals growing. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see who hits, you know?
You think Cosmos is worth a $16K investment for a female?
I wouldn't buy a female. I'd buy a male.
I'd rather pay $50K for a male than a $16K for a female right now at this point.
Yeah. Yes, I'll be at Pembroke, Cecil. I'll be at Pembroke Pines. But yeah, I wouldn't buy a female, no.
I saw some crazy combos today, like really crazy stuff, brand new stuff that
Barbins, thanks for coming through.
Voodoo stuff. That voodoo stuff. I saw some like super combos and stuff today. Man, crazy.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be impressed by this stuff.
Yeah, I gotta see that. I haven't seen it.
Do you the chocolate seems to be gaining so much popularity in asphalt out of the Yellow Belly complex. Those two, I feel like they're popping up in a lot of higher end, just finished animals now on the market. Where before they were not, nobody really gave them a second thought. Do you think that trend's going to continue with those two genes in particular, or no?
Chocolate's dope, man.
Yeah.
No matter what the value is in the future, chocolate is a must in a bunch of combos. Um, that's all I could say to that, really.
I like Leland's stuff out of Rikers. He's got some really good chocolate and super chocolate stuff out in Cali.
Yeah.
What I really want to do is a super chocolate True Ghost and the super chocolate True Ghost Clown. I'm already after it. I've got one female chocolate clown double het right now.
Yeah, badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting ready for Pomona, and you're going in January. That's like what, 3 or 4 weeks away, Emilio?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's your first show out of state, right?
Yeah. Yeah. My first time that I'll be shipping animals out, shipping my displays out. This is gonna be quite different.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get with my boy Eslin at Fire Hogs and Alvaro, and they're gonna help me out with that. It's my first time. It's gonna be fun, man. And Cali's always dope. Hanging out with MJ, hanging out with Mark Bailey, representing Villarino Reptiles and the Trap. It's fun, man.
Yeah, Pomona's January.
I just literally been basement. I've been working since 9 a.m. steady. I barely stopped for a half hour to eat today. Other than that, at probably 10 minutes before this started, I was taking a shower so I could get in here. That's how much I cut it close.
Right. Thanks for cutting it close, Kyle, and making it in. I do appreciate that big time.
There's days like that, man.
There certainly is.
Like
So what I do is I start early to try to get out early, you know. Yeah,
I start early. I never want to wake up early.
Yeah, there's days I start at 6 a.m. and I finish at 5. Me and you, we have kind of the same, more or less the same situation. And bro, I have to make deliveries. It's not easy, bro.
No, and you got to get it done no matter what. I did that delivery and I fell on the floor at Garrick's facility because my back was hurting before Tinley. I didn't go to Tinley because of my back. And then I literally fell on his floor and I was crawling around and he's like, man, are you going to be all right? I said, yeah, I think so. I might not make it to the show, but I know I'm going to be okay.
Damn.
You like Monsoon, right, Emilio?
I love it.
You do?
I'll tell you this. The first time I saw it, I think it was 2000. I think it was 2012, 2011. I don't remember the year perfectly, but it could have been 2011, 2012. The first time I saw that animal, I said, I can't wait to have it. It reminded me of a granite berm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Man, when Dave Green shared that animal on ballpythons.net, I fell in love with it.
Yeah. So what do you think for similar type genes like Bambino or Voodoo, or what do you think the subtle differences are, and where do those kind of genes that are more busy separate themselves? What do you see as the strong points or where they could go?
Where they could go?
Yeah, like what do you think about? I mean, what do you think about the future of those genes? Because Monsoon's pretty widespread, but in Voodoo, Bambino, things like that look more granite but aren't necessarily have not been tested as granite.
For me, if I had a Cosmos, right, or a Bambino, I would want to put it to a Hurricane Confusion Clown.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's what pops up in my head immediately.
Wow. Okay.
I can really fucking make it darker and also busier and crazy.
Dude,
Wow.
That'd be radical looking. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I would want to do with it.
Yeah, Basement, you brought up a good point. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're in the same class. I just mean as far as a busier, there's been a lot of, I think, genes that clean the lines and brighten and sharpen the lines and reduce pattern. And there's kind of been a sway. Like it used to be a lot of light genes and now dark is in vogue. Now I feel like the busier patterns are getting to be more popular.
I wanna make clowns fucking mean. I want to make I want to make ball pythons look mean. The way I do that is, you make dark clowns and freaking maybe you add GHI clown GHI clown to that Cosmos. Maybe that. I mean, who knows how that's gonna look? You know.
Yep. That animal right there is one of the combos I saw today. I'm not going to say what it is because it's not mine, but I figured I'd show it. You can't get a really good look at it because I can't turn the photo properly and I can't downsize it.
There you go.
Damn, that's dope.
I mean, you can kind of see it.
That's cool.
I mean, it's something I got the gene. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm a long road to that right there.
Cool, man.
So I mean, it's some voodoo stuff.
Cool.
Oh, says City. Right on. Well, what else do you think is going to happen next as far as diversification? I know you always say that diversifying, you can't just, it's not a smart idea to put all your eggs in one basket and just do ball pythons. Even yourself have kind of expanded, and I know you're loving the colubrids. That corruption, as they say. JD is so smart. That guy is so knowledgeable.
Yeah, for me,
what do you think diversification do people get into? Do you preach that for everybody or just experienced keepers?
No, I don't preach that for everyone, but what I'll say is it's nice to have different species. I wish I would have got into the Drymarchons 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they're that. I love them that much. Since I do this full time, I think it's smart to diversify a bit. Diversify with ball python traits, colors, patterns, everything, and also have, you know, when I vend, I can tell you when there's a hog on my table, people are actually happy to see something different. People at shows are they expect every table to be ball pythons. You know, so it's nice to have something else on the table, man. But
right on. I fully believe that.
But someone starting off with ball pythons, what I would tell them is that I was able to master ball pythons by focusing on ball pythons. So I wouldn't advocate for someone that's learning ball pythons to get into other species till they feel like, okay, I've learned and I have a really good grip on the ball python industry overall. That's what I would say.
You know,
yeah, and I probably haven't followed that formula to a T, so I'm guilty.
Yeah, you haven't.
I kind of backed into ball pythons. I mean, I got in the rainbow boas and chondros because those were things I wanted for 30 years, and then ball pythons were the third species I added. I fully admit I am no guru, and I don't pretend to be. I spend every day learning. So for me, I gave ball pythons a blind eye for 25 years, and then when I started paying attention, I was like, holy cow, look at what's happened. Look at the genetics. I mean, it blew my mind, and I love. It's so cool now to me, but it wasn't something it's not where I started. Ball pythons wasn't where I started. So I don't know.
There was a lot of people like that I know that originally maybe like even had a ball python, and then they were like got totally out of reptile keeping, and then all of a sudden they come back and they're like, my God, I can't believe this. I
hear it all the time.
And especially at first when we were bringing in all the wild caughts and the people were like, man, these things, 3/4 of them die. They won't eat. And you know, and it was not that. It was just we weren't there as keepers yet to breed these animals and have everything like we have now. Like, I mean, now getting into ball pythons is a cakewalk to people compared to what, like, the things
when we got in.
Oh man,
it was not a cakewalk.
No, not at all. Like,
they were saying that on Hair Down Friday last Friday. They were saying that same thing. Like, man, I had normals and I had normal het one gene, and like it was a grind. You know, 15 years ago.
Dude,
So-
like back in 2011, I tried to get into it, you know, because just a passion. I've always wanted to be into ball pythons. I've had them growing up. The information wasn't even there in 2011 as it is today, right?
No,
It was so hard. I mean, I spent hours on the internet trying to find info that you can just, I mean, it's here right now. You know,
Yep.
how that's changed for what you guys are saying.
Somebody asked, "What's a good if they've been out of the hobby for years? What's a good project to get back into?" I guess that could even be slash species to answer that
What
question.
you like?
I hate that question.
I do too. I do too, because here's
I
the
can't
thing
tell
about
you
it.
what to like.
You're exactly right.
I
You're
can't tell you
exactly
what
right.
your focus and your foundational base is gonna be. You have to do that yourself, and then that foundational base, you can start taking it forward and bringing other stuff in
Yeah.
that is a good investment, I'd say.
Look, you may have to get into it and work with something and then figure out, hey, this isn't really what I want to do. I want to go this way, right?
That's what I've
Sometimes
done.
you may get your feet wet, experimenting a little bit, and then get your direction.
No, and I'll tell you something else. There isn't a lot of people that like. Okay, so the hypo clown pied the full spectrum with the whole market. Okay, there's people like there's maybe people I can count on one hand that did those animals like from scratch. Like there's Steve Rusis. I did all my stuff from scratch. I have one animal from Steve. It's a female, but I've never produced a triple visual out of her. I only got one clutch out of her so far. So all my hypo clown stuff was like created from scratch in house. There hasn't been a lot of people that have done any of that type of work in this industry at all, hardly. You know? I've literally all my Ultramel clown pied, I created it with double hets to triple hets to make the double visual possible hets. And it was all stuff that I made from more hets.
Right.
I had a buddy tell me, bro, you should have just bought a monsoon. I said, nah, man. I could put that extra money into my rodent facility. I could buy the heads and make it myself. I want to make it myself. It feels good. It feels good to make it yourself.
Yes, it does. And
Yes.
here's another thing. With that being said, maybe people would be a little bit better at identifying their own animals if they actually put the work in.
Yeah.
One of the big things right now, and not saying bad things about the new people, but they're really able to get some crazy things right out of the gate right now. And not know what they're hatching because they've never, like I said, they've never started from the beginning.
There's a couple good questions. When did you start, and what was your first clutch? And it's going to be 20 years, October 2025, right, Emilio?
October 2025 is year 20.
Yep, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your first clutch?
Let me answer PJ real quick. PJ, what I would do with that tragic gene is I would ensure that undesirable genes, that you do not get any undesirable genes in there. I would make it darker, and I would get it into hypo. I would get it into DG. I would get it into that top tier of stuff, and I would ensure that you don't put anything in there that's not desirable. That's all. Sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. No, that's what the questions are for. That's the thing about this format is that I feel like people that are in the comments and view, the interaction is different than YouTube and different than Instagram because it's similar to Instagram, I suppose, but the interaction is great. Xanthic, different color besides black and white. Not really. By definition, Xanthic takes out the yellow and drops. I mean, it is black and white, no matter what line it is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys this: I don't want any yellow in my Xanthics.
Yeah.
And me and Kyle, we could probably disagree on this. I hate to see Xanthics get yellow. I hate banana Xanthics. Have you?
I did one project this year that nobody's done with something like that. I bred a True Ghost Yellow Belly to a Super Vanilla Enchi Banana Head Xanthic. Something that's True Ghost Banana. Nobody's done that.
That might be dope, but
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the banana Xanthics. You would think they'd be really nice animals. They're yellow.
Yep.
I hate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Have you seen adult Axanthic pieds that are yellow?
I haven't.
I have one that has some yellow on it. A VPI line Axanthic pied that's like got yellow coloring.
That's weird.
Yep.
I feel like what do you think about the age, the demographic of people that are coming into ball pythons? I feel like it trends towards an older audience where you look at colubrids and chondros, like look at last night's All in the Tree episode. I mean, there are some young cats that are 20, 25 that are crushing the chondro game. You look at JD and the colubrid corruption. There's some younger people that are really good in some of these other species. Do you see a lot of young newcomers in ball python, or people that have kind of like 30 and up are kind of more ball python as far as
I see all ages.
I
See,
see
okay.
But this is the thing.
We're not turning the heat on till then.
One bad thing is I think the ball python people, they've targeted people that were young, and it's also went bad against the industry because those young people that had big money behind them, they've gotten out of the business, and that doesn't look good for us. And people tell the stories, or they know the stories, so they tell people these things, so it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I feel like it's there's all different ages. I have older customers, I have young customers, middle-aged customers, everyone. I have little kids that buy snakes from me with their parents. I mean, it's across the board. Listen, we're dealing with the most popular pet snake in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a beautiful animal, and those people, a good number of them become investors, and they want to make their own combos, and they get real deep into it, man.
Right on.
Yep.
You guys both, you talk about your feeding. You guys both have a similar approach to your feeding prey type and size and frequency. Can you talk about why that succeeds for you with growth rates, or what you think about smaller meals more frequently, basically?
Go ahead, Kyle.
I feel that smaller meals more frequently keeps the animal eating. They're always hungry because they just don't have enough, and they get that. And you got to train them to be like that. To be honest with you, once you train them, they're looking. They're looking. You know, you could feed them once a week and they're not looking. But like once you change it up and you do I mean, like I said, Sean Bradley told me the Sean Bradley method was feeding a hopper mouse every single day for 7 days in a week and giving the weekend off, and then starting it back over. When they go into shed, you stop. But I mean, my thing is even though I am doing this full time and I don't have another job, man, it's hard with everything I got going on and as many animals as I have to really go in there and be feeding those animals like that by myself.
I don't do that. But I do feed every week, and some babies will get every 5 days, depending on the need, depending on how I see them growing. I believe in feeding weekly. I've had great success with that. I don't understand why people want to feed every 2 weeks or advocate for that. We had a recent episode on the Trap Talk Reptile Network, which if you guys are not subscribed to there, go subscribe to MJ's Trap Talk Reptile Network. We were talking with Hi-Fi Herps, and this guy has real research into python species, right? And he said that he saw the most growth in his animals when he fed them once a week.
You know Big Mike at all?
Yeah.
Big Mike says he feeds his animals as much as they'll take in a day. Like, he tries feeding them more smaller meals in a day, not one big giant meal, but like as much as they'll eat in a day without trying to. You're playing a fine line there though, because if
regurg.
them too big.
I don't do that. If I have a female that needs an extra small rat, I will do that during the breeding season.
Yep.
It's all about the animal, specific animals.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
This is one thing I've done too, is I've fed them every week, or I've even done the every other thing, but this is what I did do. When they develop follicles and you breed them and they're in that rampage, that's when you give them a little more. And it pushes them through and gets them, you're going to get a clutch.
Yep. And then in this research that we had last Monday, not this Monday, the previous Monday. The more, if you fed weekly, you got 40% of that rat in growth on your python. I agree with this because what happens if you don't feed weekly, the animal goes in somewhat of a fasted state, and then you start losing potential growth. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. Kyle, go ahead.
I do try to subscribe to that theory, and because I have rats, I don't have mice available to me. But I definitely have taken that advice from both of you guys, listening from different angles and smaller meals more frequently.
I like feeding different prey also once in a while. Sometimes an animal that isn't feeding needs a different prey. What do you think about that, Kyle?
You feed them a different one, and they'll go back to eating regularly then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have some of them. Like I had a female hypopide that literally you could breed her. Her follicles would get to a certain size, and she would quit eating rats. The only way you could, I did it twice with her because I figured her out. I tried breeding her, and she never. Twice I tried, and I failed because the follicles would get to a certain size, and she would quit eating, and she just wouldn't grow any follicles. Well, then you could feed her rats all summer. And then when the winter came and you started pairing her, she didn't want rats anymore. She wanted mice. Yeah. And then you give them the mice and you get clutches. If you don't, the follicles will not grow and you won't get clutches.
Wow.
And then you got some girls that just stop eating and the follicles grow like 100%.
Oh yeah.
In 1 month. It's freaking nuts.
I had a snake that it was 5 to 7, and I fed it 14 like large mice in 2 weeks, and in the third week I backed way off, and in the third week I ultrasounded it because it went to the bathroom, and it grew up to 25 in 3 weeks.
I'm gonna tell you guys this out there, and some people might be like, oh damn, that's a lot. I'll tell you guys, the way I feed and the way I pay attention to my animals, I've had females that have given me 8 straight to 10 straight years of production.
Yeah. With no time off in between.
If you can pay attention to them and feed them the way they want to be fed, you can get that production.
That's awesome.
When you got and that's the thing, people like the big conglomerates with 300-400 breeder females, they can't pay attention because they're not taking care of the animals.
Your percentage of success drops into the 50s.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. My animals, and Kyle, after I give your percentage, my percentage last year was 88%.
My percentage.
You went what, 65 clutches last year? Is that right?
73.
73.
Holy smokes, dude. That's awesome.
I had 82 last year, and right now, what happened was my rats were so messed up. So I had like an 18-month issue there where I couldn't get the production, so I didn't even start pairing. I was going to take the whole year off.
Yeah, but typically, what's your percentage, Kyle, typically?
I bred. What's crazy is I had a lot of females, but the ones, like I had 150 adults, but I wasn't pairing everything. What I did was I only paired the ones with follicles that I saw, so I paired them one time. If they didn't grow, I quit pairing some of those. So in the beginning of the season, last, 2023, 2024 is like a whole big mess. But in 2023, at the beginning of the year, I had 83 females out of like 150, 170. I was pairing 83. I had I think 3 reabsorb, and the rest of them all went that I paired. So I had like 81 clutches.
Yeah. Hey, last year I had an older female. She reabsorbed, and she was like I'm pretty, if I remember correctly, she was like at 23 millimeters.
I had one.
Yeah.
I had one go to 40 and reabsorb.
That shit's crazy.
That is crazy.
Right below. That's right before ovulation at 40, and then what happens is here's another thing. If there's new people in here, I can tell you one thing I do know about the follicle growth and with reabsorbing. the follicles will change colors. When they get to if they get 20 millimeters and they start to reabsorb, you can see it right away. They change colors.
Did they show more dense, less hollow? They're less.
It fades, right?
Fade. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You
okay.
you lose that defined border, and then the inside, you lose all that. It just like fades. Actually, it creates like a white border. You don't get that line anymore.
Huh?
And then on the opposite end, you get girls that you think are not gonna go, that you ultrasound once or twice, and then you got a clutch.
Yep. I've had that too. One pair once or twice, and all of a sudden they go.
Yeah.
Well, next week's our last week of the show before Christmas, guys. We're going to have Adeline Robinson on, the artist, next week. We always try to do something different. 2025, we're going to expand 1 week out of the month into exotic pets, as opposed to, we'll do reptiles 3 weeks out of the month, and one week we're going to dedicate to an exotic pet. So hopefully some changes and some new community and some new people will be coming into the fold. And people come into our chats and hangouts all the time. I'm terrified of snakes, and then they have a million questions, and then a few weeks later they want one. So it's always great to see that growth and that sharing. So if you guys think of anybody in the exotic pet world that might be different or a different flavor, by all means, shoot me a message. Let me know.
Creighton.
Oh yeah, that guy makes me want to get monkeys and kangaroos because his rooms are full of stuff.
But here's, I just, what do you think about that Dallas show? They're turning that into like an all exotics. The NARBC is like going to be an all exotics. It's not going to just be reptiles. What? Did you guys see that or no?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it came out in an email that they're going to.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's
my one friend said no, it isn't a good idea because you get more of a petting zoo type.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
What size do you start breeding?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. NARBC, that acronym stands for something, and it's not exotic pets. That's its own show, and it should stay that way.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. What size do you guys start pairing your females at was one of the questions we just got here.
Go ahead, Kyle.
To be honest with you, I paired females at all different sizes. I always look at them on the ultrasound and how they're acting. I had a 1,030-gram female give me 4 eggs. She was a picky eater. She was 4 years old, and I'm like, I'm breeding her. When she started developing follicles, I put the food to her, and I bred her because she was a picky feeder. So I'm like, well, it is what it is. So I did that. I don't breed like the 700-800-gram girls. I've never done that. The smallest I ever bred was that 4-year-old picky eater, and it was 1,030 grams. But I like to start really around 1,250. What I have also learned is with me having my rat issue, and like this year I learned a little bit of things because here's the thing. We breed our animals. Say you start breeding your seasoned breeders, females you've had for years, proven breeders, and that you get them up to, you start pairing in, like I start pairing in December. Well, I've noticed something else. If you can keep those subadults feeding and you get them at 1,250 grams at like a 2.5 years old or whatever, they will start to develop follicles, and you can breed them in April, and then you could have like a double season. So you could bring your seasons together more. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I'm a lot more open now to breeding at 1,100, 1,200. Now that I'm ultrasounding, I used to be that dude that would breed at 1,300 to 1,600 on that third winter. I could tell you that in my experience, when you breed them younger and smaller, the odds of you getting a clutch are not as high, but sometimes you do get them, man.
Huh? Any difference in clutch size?
Yeah, like Kyle was saying, sometimes you'll get 4 eggs, 5 eggs. Some people are blessed and they get the 6. But in my experience, the younger ones, smaller ones, they'll give you 4.
I had a 1,392 gram female give me 6 eggs, And then I had another 1,300 gram female give me 6 eggs this year. But it's all by ultrasound. Reading them with the ultrasound, feeding them properly, and breeding them is where I've learned most of, like, I've heard people, you got to feed them to breed them. And when they kick on food, when you get that initial lock and they got follicles, that's where the ultrasound is really, to anybody in the chat, here's the deal. If you can get one less good snake and get yourself an ultrasound, I tell you what, you're going to learn, you're going to do better. Forget about that one animal and get yourself an ultrasound.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because it will make a world of difference.
Okay, so like us poor jokers trying to learn this that don't have ultrasounds, what would be a good recommendation to pair? What to look for. I still try to learn that palpating thing every day. I'll try to do y'all's techniques. I just can't feel it.
I used to pair once a month.
Okay.
I know what did.
That typically works. And when you learn their behavior, when you learn what to look for, when the female's done. So
yeah,
you don't waste extra copulations for nothing.
I don't breed
Okay.
over, like,
Okay.
unless I really, really want to get something. Like, sometimes I'll throw a male in there and I really don't need to, but I just want to make sure. If I got, I've done it, like, I don't really breed anything over 25 anymore.
Now, if you look in that tub and you see one ovulating, right? She looks like she's got a football. Would that be a good time to pair?
No.
I'm just saying, because.
Yeah. There's no need for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you see swelling, like where she looks big and she's building, typically, Kyle, they're at 30, right? 25 to 30.
I noticed this too. In a ball python female, when they're about to ovulate, or like maybe a month before, their bellies start to drop out under them. They get like a, I've noticed they get like a, where it's,
How's that?
Oh, it hit a live goal. There's a jingle because it went off. Someone hit a live goal. Thanks for the gifts there, having a ball.
What I would tell all of you out there that need to see these things that we're speaking of visually, go to Marcus Jane's breeding pictorial.
Oh, that shows a lot.
That will show you all you have to see. Okay? Marcus Jane's breeding pictorial.
I have been looking through that, yes.
Yeah. That's
right on.
The best.
But Dredd, I would say one less snake and get yourself an ultrasound.
Yeah, that's on the wish list.
I do have a cheaper, not cheap, but I do have a cheaper ultrasound that I found on Amazon that is from a U.S. retailer that I think is comparable to some of the other ones out there. And if it breaks, you can send it to the U.S. person instead of sending it overseas to get it repaired.
That was a question in the comments. Yeah, what's a good starter ultrasound you guys would recommend?
I have one. I don't know the name of it. My ultrasound is a SIUI. That's like the old school when, like, they're probably like, probably 14 by maybe like, 14 by 14 by 14. They're a little heavier, but to be honest with you, them things like 6 years ago were like $15,000.
To be honest, Kyle, do you use that one so that it jives with your dial-up internet down in your snake room? Is that why? AOL.
I don't need any. I don't need an internet with my ultrasound.
I'm kidding ya.
Yeah, I have the Contec, I think it's called, from Amazon.
Medical.
I don't recommend that because it has a faulty switch. The first one I got, I had to send it back. It wouldn't turn on. The second one, the switch lasted 6 months. So now I power it with a battery or I power it with the plug. The switch is not working. So, I mean, it works. It works great. It just has a faulty switch.
I've had mine for probably the one I have now. I had an old medical one that Mark Bailey gave me, and we almost got killed. My dad, I almost killed him with it. We were taking when I moved out of my parents' place. I took it with me here, and well, it was 400 pounds or something like that. Me and him tried getting it up the stairs from in the basement, and we had like straps around it and like a dolly hooked up to it, and like thing
Ah,
let loose, and it knocked my dad right over down like 3 or 4 stairs. And with that happening, we had to get my cousin over. We got it out, but within a year's time, I'm like, man, I am not lugging this thing around. I'm not putting it up one stair, let alone a bunch more. I got to get something different. So then I found a guy that was selling a used one. It was the SIUI 3300 CTS-V. And that ultrasound, a lot of people have the 5500 CTS-V, but that was the one, like the Cadillac of all ultrasounds. And I've had mine for probably 8-10 years now, and it's never had an issue.
nice. Well, Emilio, we don't want to keep your time. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. I know you get up super early, especially on Thursdays for your routine. So you're welcome to hang out, and we can keep talking questions. But I don't want to keep you. You're on the East Coast. What's some bit of advice? What's your wisdom, sage-like advice that you would share with people besides joining the V Unit via Instagram? What else? What's a good sum up to take everyone to take home and put in their toolbox?
I think insurance might work.
What I would say is that get in this for the long haul, and don't overdo it. Don't get stressed out. Don't add too many animals to where
Not sure.
you lose the passion and you lose the fun of it.
You don't need
Use the
the
therapeutic value that it offers you.
And we use the registration to the
Just
client.
find yourself a mentor that's honest
Hang on, so
and
straight.
isn't trying to just make money off of you. Listen to people that have been doing this a long time. They're not trying to hold you back. They're trying to help you, stay in the game, not just come in for 2 years and get out.
Still, you're blue in the face, and people say,
Yeah, get different ideas and opinions from a couple different people, and then formulate your own way.
That's one thing about breeding ball pythons. Like, I don't breed ball pythons like the people in Florida breed ball pythons. I don't breed ball pythons like the people in Arizona breed ball pythons. There's different things. You got to take things from everybody, and you got to put your own thing into play.
Yeah, breeding them is easy, right? It's just what to breed and what to invest in and what to keep out of pairings, and that's the hard part. Having the vision is the hard part.
With that being said, here's the thing though. Don't breed it just because you think you're going to make money. Breed what you like, because if you put the work into it, I've noticed that putting the work into it, more so than buying it into a project and thinking, oh, I'm going to make all this money. No, you put the work into something that you like, and the money is going to come because you put the work into it.
Even if the money doesn't come, if you're enjoying yourself, that's also what this is about.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, that's true. I got a question for you, Emilio. When does Coach get his first chondro? When's that happening?
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I can't wait.
But you've got that on the wish list.
I'm
It's
going to tell
coming.
you right now, I have a ton of ball pythons. I have hognose, dry marcons, which I'm in love with. I have an Angolan. I have Mexican Black Kings. My wife has some Cresties. I think we're good for now, bro.
Right. I didn't know you had Angolans. Right on. I know Lee does out there.
I'm sorry. I have a female that's finally taking off. I'm happy now.
Yeah. How do you like their attitude? I hear they're more curious and active than ball pythons.
They're nothing like ball pythons. That whole myth about them being, just like ball pythons, to me, they are nothing like ball pythons. They grow slow. They can't eat like ball pythons. You have to take it easy on them. They are slow growers. That's why a lot of people do not work them. They are very cool. They pay attention. They're always hanging out, watching you. they're really cool animals, man.
That's awesome.
But guess what? You ain't breeding a female till at least 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And if you breed her at 4, you're getting very little eggs.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yep. No, that's how chondros and my Brazilian rainbow boas are. It's really a game of patience. It's that 5-year, 6-year mark, and you can't rush it. There's really no getting up to size. It's the calendar. You're stuck with that.
I will tell you.
Small meals too.
I'll tell you one thing about ball pythons. I've come to realize too over the years of breeding, more so than some of the new people. I've noticed that if you raise your females slower and you breed, say you get a female that's 3 years old or 4 years old instead of that 2-year mark, I've noticed that those females that are raised a little bit slower will be better breeders, and you can get clutches year after year after year, more so than if you try to pump them up as fast as you can to get eggs out of them as fast as you can. They're not as good.
I mean, ball pythons are perfect, bro. They are amazing.
The eggs you get.
They are fast growers. They eat good. They are so different, bro.
They're hardy too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they can. I mean, I know a guy that got in trouble with abusing them. Like they took his whole collection away from him and everything. But man, those animals went through some major abuse, and they like literally made it out. Like they made it. So they're hardy.
Cecil, the ball python community in South Florida is amazing. We have called the South Florida area the Mecca of ball pythons in the past, because a lot of the stuff came out of here, through Strictly and whatnot, and it's amazing down here. There's a ton of us. We all know each other, and now I'm starting to call myself Mr. 305. I'll tell you that.
Nice. I like it, Mr. 305 worldwide.
Yeah.
That's one thing about where I live. There's really no like this week. There's a small show, but there's really not shows like there is in Florida, and you don't get breeders. So like everything you bring to these small shows is like more pet quality type things.
I mean, the pet quality is even in Florida, bro. It's everywhere. Let's be real. The investment shows are Tinley, Daytona, Pomona maybe.
Yep. That's NARBC shows.
Yeah, NARBC shows, but that's it. Everything else is pets.
Pomona. Other than that, it's all pets. Yep.
Yeah, man. No one talks about that.
I don't care. I told you, I'm like, man, if these animals, we don't get that $15,000 anymore, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing. $20,000 animals. If we don't get that, I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing, man.
I love what I do. We love what we do. And our job is to bring more people in. And, I don't care. I'll sell everything. I don't care.
So I have a question.
My mantra. I'm gonna sell to everyone and try to keep my customers as I'm gonna try to keep them successful and keep them with me.
Oh, definitely.
And, build a friendship and just keep going.
Yep.
One thing I've never really done is like refuse to sell people animals.
Yeah.
I've had plenty refuse to sell to me, but I've never refused to sell animals to people.
Yeah, that'd be dumb, wouldn't it?
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, I tried to explain to certain people. I tried to explain to one guy in particular, I'm not going to name any names. Bro, quit feeding your animal like you're going to breed it, like pounding it every day, small meals. You're raising these animals up for everybody, and then you want so much money for them because you got the breeding size in 3 months. And stop that. Not everybody feeds like you do. Put the animals up there as babies for sale and not wait till they're 500 grams. That's one thing. Some people think that putting the size on the animals catches a buyer more so, but I think that everybody feeds. There's a lot of people that feed their animals differently, so you can't gauge it by, I'm going to put this animal up so it's going to get more action.
I just want the animal to be healthy and progressing. That's it.
Exactly, and for the person to do well with it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: I will not ship an animal that's not in a good feeding rhythm.
Yep.
I don't do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Dread,
Yeah,
what
we
did you
get
have?
those questions. Why can't you send me my animal? And right there, what you guys said, it's not eating well. It's not up to a good weight to send it to you.
Yeah,
Right? That's my policy.
yeah. I try to ship everything above 110 grams. If I ship something smaller, it's because it hatched smaller, and I have confidence in how the animal feeds and what it's shown me.
Right.
Yeah.
I've shipped people animals, other breeders that have been doing this for a long time. I have shipped them animals pre-fed, pre-shed because they wouldn't take them otherwise.
You know what? I don't like doing that.
I
I've
don't
done that
either.
twice.
I don't either. I've only probably done
Wow.
Yeah, the one time it was fine. The other time it was not fine, and that shit pisses me off
Yup.
because what happens is
It's your fault.
it's not. I mean, if someone takes an animal pre-fed, pre-shed, it's on them,
Yup.
in my opinion. So I like to ensure that the animal is going to be that the animal's going to thrive. I don't want to. I don't want to sell an animal straight out of the egg.
I don't sell a lot of animals either that like the ones that might refuse their first time. Like I keep them a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that they're eating well. But the ones that literally pound, I mean, if I get 10 meals in them, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 meals, yeah. Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't mind helping people too, say, hey, you can't get this animal feeding. I mean, try this, try this. I told a guy for 3 months on, it's funny because it's a guy that's well known in the business. He's been around for a little bit, not super green, but he's green. And I told him for months, stop trying to feed that animal on cocoa, switch it to aspen, switch it to aspen. I said it for 3 months, and he finally did it, and he got it to eat right away. And he told his friend, he's like, dude, don't tell Kyle, don't even tell him. I'm not gonna tell him because it worked, and like I didn't want to listen to him because I wanted to do my own thing. And it's like, but I was trying to save you, and you didn't want to listen to good advice.
Something else that I don't like to do is I do not like
Hello?
to give an animal a prey item that's too big that might scare it.
Yes. They do get spooked, don't they?
Yeah, if you spook the animal, you might have a problem on your hands. So I typically like to give it a nice, safe, smaller meal. And then, once it's like, okay, this thing has confidence, then I'll give it that nice, thicker, big meal.
Yep. I kind of start my babies even on like a crawler mouse more so than a hopper, like a crawler mouse, just the ones that just move around,
Yeah, that's what I do. I give it a little fat ass crawler.
Yep. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
To do, and a lot of people too. Here's another thing: when you give them that bigger hopper, sometimes they'll regurge the fur when it's half digested because they're just not ready for that.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
then another thing with giving them a little fat ass crawler is that animal has its eyes closed most of the time. It has all that fat in it, and it you can leave it overnight if you want.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. That's another thing. Yep.
Yeah, I've done that. Left them in overnight and then come in the next morning
Because
and they
that
bake.
animal's not hungry.
Yeah.
I could put those animals. I could pull those animals. I could put a whole piece of bread and they don't touch it. They're not hungry.
Yep.
That's another thing I do know. People have fed. They put a hopper mouse in there, and it does have its eyes open. They've also put a little piece of rat food in there and left it in there.
I do that. I tell my people that buy pets that are learning how to feed their snakes. I tell them to put a little piece of bread by the hide box.
Yep.
So how soon after they come out so how soon after the first shed, because you get this all the time, everybody says, I feed straight away right after the first shed. Well, that straight away is different variables. What is your take on that? I found 2 weeks for me after that first shed seems to work pretty good.
Um,
Is that too long? I mean,
no, I mean if that's working for you, that's fine. But sometimes I'll feed them 2 days later.
okay. I've had some eat straight away, and then I've had, I think, better success closer to that 2 week mark,
Yeah.
depending on weight, size, right? I look at all that.
I mean, it also depends on your timetable for getting these animals ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because
If you end up with
what I'll
Go
tell
ahead.
you, simply put, I'm pretty much sold out every year, and I kind of need my animals to get going.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a clutch of like 4 eggs at 1,200 grams, do you find they still get larger clutches when they hit up to 25, 3,000 grams? Do they give you them 7, 10 egg clutches, or are they kind of stuck at a lower number? Do you find any holdback from starting too soon?
No. If
That
you
was
feed your animals well, you could get an animal to give you a clutch at 12, 1,300, and that animal will continue to grow and still give you clutches the following year and the following year, as long as you are feeding that animal enough and it's advancing in prey size. That animal's going to continue to grow and give you good clutches.
That is true.
so you'll get higher quantity of eggs
Yes.
along with relative, because the body can only hold so many, right? I mean, there's only so much space.
Well, genetically, Kyle, some females, they could be really big and they still give you 6.
Yep, I've had that. I had a cinnamon clown that I got from Greg Graziani that it would never give me more than 6 eggs, no matter how big it got.
Thanks,
But they're
Evan.
just really
Nice.
big ass eggs.
I'm glad you guys are bringing that up because I watched a video and y'all probably seen it. I forget who it was, but they was saying depending on the female and how their reproductive organs are right set up in their side, there may not be enough space to have more than 6 eggs, right? So I have a big banana that can lay 10 eggs. Well, if her reproductive system is more toward toward her further back, maybe she can only have 6 eggs. Is there something to that, depending on?
I never heard anything like that.
No.
I watched a video on YouTube exactly explaining that, and I forget if I can find it. I'll let you guys know.
I have noticed that some females have the folliculars, their follicles a little further back in the tail, but I haven't noticed anything with clutch size.
Okay.
Most of the females have the follicles right next to the gallbladder.
That's where
Okay.
I find them. And as they grow bigger, they spread out because they have to. They're growing.
Yeah.
Right.
Something I do want to say about breeding young girls is that most of the time the babies are gonna be small.
Ah,
Yes.
Mature females give better babies. More big, robust, better females. That's just annoying.
What was that?
it's just people keep hitting the live goal, so that's I don't control it. It gives a little celebration. When they-
Again, mature females give you better, bigger, robust babies. The babies
They all
feed
do.
better. They're firecrackers. I feel like you get better babies if you wait a little longer.
10-4. Cool.
I'd have to agree with that. I'm not one of the people, to be honest with you. I'm like a 3 to 4 year person, not a 2 to 3 year person.
Yeah.
I've always been that way, and to me, it seemed like they get more success out of them just waiting that. Even if if you don't pound them with food, and it just takes you that much longer, just that extra age makes that female just be a better breeder over her lifespan.
Yeah.
Do you like imports? New blood, new genes coming in. What do you guys think of imports in general, as far as the ball pythons are concerned? Not necessarily other species.
How are you going to get new genes in if you don't import?
Yeah.
Right.
We've only got like a few spontaneous mutations. Like in the 20 years, something plus years that I've been doing it, there's probably been 3 or 4 spontaneous mutations. That's it.
Yeah, I'm all for imports. I want to see the next thing,
Right.
Now I want
Absolutely.
it to be something new, improving, not the same shit. Okay,
Not the renames.
not the
Right.
renames. Okay, come on, stop it, bro.
Yup. That's true.
Yeah, the duplicate names for the same thing is that has gotten to be a tired story for sure.
Wow. That's some serious OCD, bro.
That's having a ball giving Emilio a hard time.
Man, I ain't that OCD.
How about now?
Is that
No,
better?
I got a lot of snakes, and I mean, I know people that like they gotta like there can't be a speck of dust in their snake room. I know people like that. They got cobweb people. They're getting any kind of dust, anything.
And just said good night twice. She
Yeah,
She
I don't.
did.
Oh, I know.
New viewer. I don't recognize her, but I'm glad she
keeps-
came
she
through.
keeps
But
sticking
yeah,
around.
Yeah, I know who it is.
we call that an Irish goodbye, where we take like 30, we say goodbye, but then like 30, 40 minutes later we actually leave.
All right, let's do 10 more minutes. What's up? More questions. Let's go.
Sometimes I don't do that. I just shut my thing off so that people can't even see me that I'm here. It just shows in the numbers and it doesn't show that I'm here. And I can listen without them knowing.
Well, I'm kind of out of questions, Emilio. Shoot, people have been filing it in through the comments
How
tonight.
about Dread? What's up, Dread?
I'm trying to think of something good I need to know about.
Hey, Kyle, ask questions, bro.
I don't really know what to ask. I just like people can just ask me. I'm kind of like today I'm kind of you can see that I've worked hard because I'm not all amped up.
Hey,
Trying to think what all we covered.
Hey, Chucky Madrid is in the house.
Madrid's in the house. Chucky,
How did
how
you
are
get Kyle to wear a shirt? I've never seen
Doesn't he
Kyle
always
without
wear
a
a
shirt.
shirt?
What is this about?
Doesn't he always wear a shirt?
As far as I've seen,
Oh, a lot of times when I'm on like the Instagram lives, when people like Chucky invites me in there all the time, I'm never wearing a shirt. Or like if I'm on Hair Down Fridays, a lot of times I'm not wearing a shirt.
I'm glad I missed it.
That's a good
Emil's
question,
got a
Bro
question.
Serpents. What's a combo you're looking forward to probably putting together in the next couple years? Something you're really wanting to work on that may take you, a few years to risk it.
True Ghost, DG Clown,
Visual.
visual, and then I would say something that I might tinker with is a True Ghost Highway. I want to see what Sunset Exantic is gonna look like. Sunset Exantic Pied, maybe Sunset Exantic Ghost. All my shit's gonna be the shit I love the most is Exantic.
Right. What's next for Ultramel? I mean, Pied has been scorching hot for Ultramel. What's next for Ultramel? Do you think is the next turn to kind of keep it relevant? Or the prices seem to have dropped on Ultramel. At least simple animals. What's going to take?
Everything's dropping, guys. Just saying.
But I want to tell you something like this. I'm going to tell it like it is. Go look at I can show you a picture of an adult Ultramel clown female on eggs, and I can show you an adult monarch clown on eggs. And I'm going to tell you something. People that are getting in, new people without the influence of other people's brains and the money, they're going to pick the Ultramel every time over the monarch.
Facts.
Agreed. I think so too. What about this Dark Knight? What about this gene I saw from Hetflix this past week?
Dope. That was nice.
It is cool.
Yeah, it is. I honestly, man, I just love Ultramel. Monarch is okay for me. It just doesn't do it for me, guys. I'm being honest.
I just didn't want two of something that looks so similar.
Yeah.
Like I know people that are working multiple Axanthic lines in their collections, and I'm like, bro, you're so advanced.
That makes no sense.
In the one, get rid of the other one.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
I personally,
I'm not a big fan of the Monarch, man. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Ultramel has a broader audience. a broader impact to me in the market, and that's how I feel about it. I I can't wait to make Ultramel puzzles, Ultramel sunset, Ultramel monsoon. That's where I'm going with some of that stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Producing pet level, not just high end. Yeah, well, that's kind of what Emilio. We haven't touched on it really tonight, but Emilio always preaches that when you vend a table, you have to have something for the whole spectrum of your audience. You got to bring people to your table at the
But you
pet
also
level.
have to be able to get a table. What I would say is I like building a customer base off of every level, pet level, investment level. I want to have everything. So
For
a
sure.
smart business has everything. So I want to get that customer in and then maybe keep them in my investment side for a while
That's one
and then
thing
get them going.
That's one thing I can honestly say I made a mistake on is like I always shot for more high end, high end, high end, high end, high end, and then it's like, but what do you got that I can afford?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Yep.
I will say this. I don't think I don't think it's a mistake, Kyle. But
with prices coming down, I've had more people approach me, but like when the prices 2-3 years ago, like I would get, man, people would just be like, man, when are you gonna make something cool that I can like really afford because these animals aren't out there, and I'm like, at this point in time, this is just where it is, and I can't lower the prices because you can't pay for it.
yeah, yeah. I just think it's good to have a little bit of everything. That's all.
I,
Um,
I,
would I like to have more, not a little bit more high end as well? Of course. So I think you build a little bit of both, and just go with it.
see, and
I am 110% on board with that plan. That is entire. I mean, I have fully subscribed to that concept. I think that's key.
I think it is too. Like, I do have a lot of pieces to projects that, they can buy in at a certain level.
There's people that think we're crazy,
Oh, definitely.
but guess what? We need recruitment, man. We need those new people.
No,
We need them.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about high end and then the race to the bottom. So let's say you have a $12,000, a $15,000 snake, and that's where the market is. How long do you sit on that animal without any inquiries or any serious, people trying to perhaps buy that off you? When do you drop the price? At 3 months, 6 months? Do you sit on it for a year? Do you just keep it and then breed it and keep it in your stock? And then what do you think about that in relation to someone going, well, shit, I can't sell it. I'm going to cut it 50% off and hurting their peers in the marketplace. What do you think about that topic on high end and race to the bottom?
Well, an animal is worth what it will sell for, unless it's important to your projects, right? I have a pie double head sunset lavender female on Morph Market that is very expensive. But guess what? That female is there to see if someone will pay what someone will pay what I'm willing to let it go for. If not, it's staying. It's here. It'll be a project animal for me. It's gonna take something very close to what I have it posted for it to move. I don't have to sell it.
Yep.
Okay.
I have animals like that, like the True Ghost, that I just made. I mean, I've had people beat me up and want them for nothing, but it's like I can sell other animals in my collection that are adults, and this is why. I could sell adults in my collection where I don't have the odds, where they're stacked against me. I could lose production for 2 to 3 years raising those girls up rather than give them away because your odds are going to be so much in your favor when you do have them up to size. More so than animals you have in your collection now that, okay, you want to buy this at this price, I'll sell it to you, but you still have to hit those odds. This is already there. You got to pay this certain amount or I'm not going to let it go.
I guess that maybe is it wrong to think that's a built-in safety net for the person that produced that snake? Because like you said, everything you guys just said, you're not hurting to keep that animal. So therefore, yeah, you'd like to get 10 or 12 or 15 grand for it, but if you don't, you could still keep breeding and moving forward with a very quality animal. It would be nice to have that cash, obviously, but then you're not hurting to sell it like you are a $200 or $500 snake. Is that a bit of peace of mind to kind of put back in your stock that you're always your own best customer by helping yourself if that high end animal doesn't move?
I produced pied head sunsets. Okay, I kept the double head stuff that were for that are for triples for myself. I put that girl up just in case someone wants to snag her and pay what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I sold the stuff I didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. I still made my money.
Now
Okay.
here's what I got to say about that. Like, okay, this is how I kind of look at things also. Okay, I got this animal up at this price. I'm willing to take this price or whatever. But if you're not going to do it, there's other animals I can sell in my collection
Yes.
to get that same money that I can move forward with this. I can sell these over here and get that same amount of money. And now the odds are better for me long term to keep that animal than to sell it.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. All right.
This
So,
is all good growth information. I think this is
yeah.
all stuff we all need to hear from you guys. It's just like I said, another tool to put in your toolbox going forward if you are trying to build something beyond just a hobby breeder, but you really want to go to the next level. I think even if you're not making $10,000 snakes, you need to know about how that operates or what to expect. Or when I'm the customer trying to buy a snake of that value, how is that perceived by the seller, and how you guys navigate that? I think that's really good information.
You know what's funny that because I just read a comment that people do not understand how much work goes into this. There's new cats that get a couple double recessives, or they let's say they pick up pastel puzzles and they're gonna breed it to XYZ recessive. They're not thinking that they have to produce that next generation of animals and then raise that next generation of animals. They're not looking that far ahead. They're just looking at the animals they bought.
I got something to say about that. I
Yeah.
know a guy that's been doing this for 20 years, and he's been listening to me a little bit on podcasts. He told me today, he said, Kyle, I will tell you this. I always thought I could do with a double visual to a double heads. Like I always thought I could keep doing that and I would be fine. But now I know the importance of saving those double recessive females and raising those up. And once they're there, how they are so valuable.
Oh yeah.
And that was Winston actually told me that this morning. He's
I
like,
was talking to Winston at the show this weekend, man. Super cool guy.
yep. Yeah, and he's like, Kyle, now that you got more double recessive, way more than what I got. And he's like, I didn't want to listen before. I just wanted to get that male and be breeding it to the double heads. And really,
He
like,
brought by a really nice Ultima puzzle to the table. I was like, woo!
yeah, he was talking to me about selling them, trying to find somebody to buy them. And then I told him, well, I'm not really into puzzle. And he's like, oh, yeah, I listen to your podcast. I shouldn't have even said that. I'm an idiot.
So what do you guys think it's going to take, right? Prices were dropping. The market took a dump. I got into it right before the market dumped. Just one of them things. So what do you think it's going to take? I mean, I know it's flooded with the ball pythons. There's 39 something thousand right there available. What do you think it's going to take for it to stabilize and maybe start coming back?
I think we're stabilized now.
You think so?
Yeah, I think this is what it's going to be.
This is how it is. Like, it's up and down and up and down and up and down. Like, man, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've seen the same thing. I've seen a lot of people come in and a lot of people get out, and I'm still here.
Yeah. We're back to pre-COVID, bro.
However,
Yeah.
Okay.
that the thing is, it is what it is. And man, black Mexican king snakes have been a certain price for so long. Bull snakes have been a certain price for so long. I mean, the ball pythons is like a up and down because of just so many different variables.
Yeah, the fads,
You know, and exactly, and that's why I always, you know, like you said earlier, when the guy says, well, what project should I get into? Like, no, I'm not going to tell you. You got to work with what you like, and you got to put the work in, and that's the name of the game, really.
Yeah, what sucks is that, and God bless their heart, right? Everyone wants to be told what to do. And then when it doesn't, let's say it doesn't go their way, oh, that fucking guy told me this shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
I blame it all on Kyle.
Here's another thing too, though. The odds. You know, that's one thing I don't preach enough is I say, oh, you're getting these doubles and triples and all that, but I'm going to tell you something. You better have all levels, because if you don't, you're trying to do things like, man, it's just so stacked against you. Like, it's not.
The odds, man, you got to fight that. So look at what I did last year. I bought a triple het hypo DG Exantic from you, so I can have that girl growing before I hit my stuff.
Yep.
You know, that's what I do. I try to give myself opportunities to hit the animals a little faster. So I'll buy that animal from you, and I'll have her growing.
Razor.
That way I have a chance a little earlier.
Yep. See, like I did a lot of the Axanthic DG Hypo Clown. You know, I produce a bunch of quad het females. I sold them all because I produced 3 clown triple het females. Well, I sold a pair and I kept 1.2 of the clown triple hets. And I'm gonna make more, but they're gonna be more genes. The crazy thing is I'm kind of like wishing I dialed it back a little bit, because some of this stuff is so hard to make when you put so many genes in it. It's just not that easy. You're making it even worse for yourself.
This is super relevant to my main ball python project. I had VPI, Desert Ghost, Hypo, Clown, you know, and I got 7 or 8 animals in that grouping. That's my main ball python project, and I totally need to hear this. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna make a bunch of some visuals with triple or some with quad heads, but it's easy to say, oh, Gen 2, I'm gonna have success. Gen 3, I got it made, but then you factor in odds, and they don't always pan out. And
well, I'm gonna tell you this: like my triple and quad projects are gonna be animals that every single double that comes from those animals is gonna be dope as fuck.
yes.
So that way, you know, I'm gonna be in good shape. Either I'm gonna keep the animal or I'm gonna sell the animal. You know, pretty much. I wanna, every recessive that you have in there has to make sense, right, Kyle?
Yep.
Yeah, but you know, here was the thing. Like, I did the True Ghost Clown stuff this year. I'll have like probably 30 eggs. You know, I wish, honestly, I just pastel lesser triple het, pastel triple het, pastel Enchi lesser triple het. To be honest with you, I wish those would have been normal triple hets, because I could have bred a clown double het to those. With less genes, you have less variations of all the different things. So you have less genes fighting to be in those combos. So you guarantee yourself a little bit better chance of getting that triple or quad with no genes first. Then you add it, or you build your wheelhouse around that first. You buy all those animals, those visual combos, and then you try to make those other ones.
And you know what's funny, Kyle? When we say this stuff to new people, they think that we're talking ass backwards. It's because we know what it is to have longevity in the game, and we're looking long game.
Exactly.
Right.
They are not. They're trying to make the quickest splash possible, and putting it all into that, and then sometimes they'll crash and burn.
I'll admit I got into this and kind of made some bad did it a little bit, not the way I should have done it. But I'm one of these guys that have to fall on my face and then go, okay, this makes sense. And then come out of it. Like you guys realize what you did. Maybe you need to downsize and take and back up, right, and reevaluate, and then come back. You know,
Here's another thing
to get on track.
Fred, here's another thing I've been talking to a lot of people really recently about. Everybody, when they saw the DG clowns and the hypo DGs and that, they all jumped into that hypo DG clown triple. But there's so much to do with just the hypo clowns still.
Right. But it did. I've had to learn the hard way, you know, and fall on my face. And because, right, I'm listening to all you guys, and
People
it
do
was
have to learn
it's a
the
jumble,
way.
right? You get that information overload.
In
Right?
life, in all aspects, sometimes people have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, right. And I'm the first one to tell you,
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't have bought that, and I should have bought this and did this. And that's
Yeah.
okay though, because I'm learning that, right? I'm letting you know. So now we can move those animals, find good homes for them. If there's something that could work into a project moving forward, a female, then we keep that female. And that's what I'm doing now. So I got to get rid of some animals, but now I know what I'm doing. We're not going to be pairing anything up probably until next for a whole nother year, because I want to make sure I'm getting into this to the right way, to what I want to do. And I've talked to Kyle a little bit about this, you know, in some of the hangouts, but everything you guys are saying does make sense. Just maybe it may take you a couple weeks or a couple months once you get into it for it start to make sense for the new guys.
All right, so guys, before I get off of here, I'm gonna give you one more question, big dogs, and then I do want to say to everyone watching, guys, give me a follow on Instagram. You know, if you're able to, check out the V Unit. Subscribe to the Trap Talk Reptile Network with me and MJ. You know, I co-host a Monday night show, New Breeder on the Block, and my homie has a ton of great content. You know, looking forward to coming on here again in the near future. It's been a blast.
Nice. I'm very glad to hear that, my man. Very glad to hear that.
Emilio, thank you very much.
You guys have any last questions or?
Yeah, I got one. You got one, E? You got one, Dread, for E?
I'm good right now, man.
I got one.
Everything I need.
It's more about the entertainment and information side of it than it is the nuts and bolts of the ball pythons. As far as like the stuff that's going on with Trap Talk and the evolution and how much it's growing, the amount of subscribers, it's amazing. I look up to it. It's a measuring stick. I love it, and I think it's what everybody else aspires to be, whether they admit it or not. This association with Morph Market and all the cool stuff you guys have plugged in and gotten connected with, where do you see that ultimately going? I mean, I feel like you guys are reaching the top, but every year that goes by, there's a new ceiling and another new ceiling and something else comes out of the woodwork. Yeah, what do you think's going to happen ultimately?
MJ's the best in the game, and everyone's trying to emulate him, copy to a certain extent. I'm proud to be on there, proud to be affiliated with it. We pride ourselves with having great content and trying to teach people every single day and trying to keep people in the game, and at the same time focused on what matters: the the therapeutic aspects of the animals, the life-changing aspects that the animals give. And I like to focus on people. I like to try to get people to not focus on the money. You know?
Okay. Yep.
Like a simple example, guys. And yeah, I brought up the dry marcons. Bro, I'm like a little kid with the dry marcons again. Yeah, man, I go in there, I check them out, I hold every single one of them every couple days. I'm like a little kid again, bro.
See, but here's the thing. I'm a ball python nerd, like hardcore, like super hardcore. Like I get stuff, I'll get animals, and it's just like, man, I have them for a while. But it's not a ball python, and we're
nerds. We're nerds. I'm a ball python nerd, bro.
I get rid of stuff because I'm like, man, this just is. I don't love it. Like, man, with the ball pythons, like I was really messed up one time, and I was telling a dude, like, with anything you you gotta love it. Like, man, with the ball pythons, I just can't stop it. Like, I can't stop it. So getting other things for the business aspect, it just, to me, it's like, man, but I don't love it as much as I love this. So it's hard for me to really branch to a lot
And
of.
that's cool. I was you for a long time. But man, let me tell you, the having MJ and Joe, Colubrid Corruption,
Yep.
my boy Mike Barrera.
Yep.
Last year I saw a full-grown yellowtail Crebo at his place. I fell in love with that shit, bro. It looked like a king cobra.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, cobras. As a child, I think Cobra and GI Joe is what, and ringneck snakes is what got me into this shit, bro.
Yep.
So now that I can have an animal that is the closest thing to a cobra, I'm fucking like thrilled, man.
Yep.
And another thing I wanted to bring up is hognose. Hognose are fucking cool too. I saw a hognose at the show this weekend. It was a super Arctic lavender mocha.
Oh man.
Holy shit, Kyle! I'm gonna send you pictures of this animal. It looks like a some type of true ghost combo.
Yep.
This animal, exothermic, I think that's her name. They hit it. Kyle, this animal is fucking incredible. It has black eyes.
Maybe I don't want to see it because then I get another wheel turning.
Then he's gonna want to get him.
Dog. I mean, listen, I love listen, ball pythons are still number one. Okay? Because of everything they offer. But if you ask me what species most represents someone like me, is Crebos, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Josh Mantooth Exotics. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mantooth has the Crebos too. Like he loves them, man. He
I was
like,
looking at some of his ball pythons today for sale.
you know, and it just like, you know, I have the bull snakes. I mean, like the one
Those
female.
are cool. Hey, the hypo bulls. My buddy Paul has a hypo bull that she is incredible.
Is it a hypoazanthic or is it just a hypo?
Yeah, I think it's just hypo.
The hypoazanthic is like a true ghost, and that
I think I saw that
black
one.
and white, and they're like,
Yeah, it's
purple.
super nice.
Oh, dude, I love them. I got a male that's so mean. Like it's the only one out of all of them. It's just terribly.
Yeah, they just have like a little attitude.
Yeah, he's definitely got a big time attitude.
Yeah.
You know. Other than that, like they're food aggressive. That's one thing about them. But the Crebos are the same way. Like when they smell it, they're looking. They're coming. Yeah.
I haven't had that problem yet though. Mine are the oldest ones I have are a year old, and so far they've been pretty good. You know.
Well, guys, we held about It's tapering off now here. We held about 35 viewers the whole 2 hours now. 1,000 people rolled through. We're at 37.5K likes. So we did some good work tonight. Definitely got a lot of viewers, a lot of steady viewers. I can tell by the comments, people stuck around. Appreciate the great content and the great information. People don't stick around if they don't want to hear. We weren't even showing animals. I mean, that's just how engaging this convo was.
Those true ghosts, I could bring them in here. They're literally in the next room, 10 feet away.
Yeah, you're my time zone. We're good. We'll let Emilio get he gets up early on Thursdays. I know this. So
yeah, hey guys, sorry, I'm not the type to show animals on a live. It's not. I've done it a few times.
I don't normally
I feel like if you want to see my animals, go to my Instagram page.
Yeah. Listen, dude, we don't. That's fine. Every guest, we want them to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Kyle,
we respect that.
Yep. See you later, man.
I'm gonna send you pictures of that animal, bro. Later.
Okay.
Have a good night, Emilio. Thanks, bro.
I like
It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, I do like the all pink ones. The pink hognose. There's like an all.
See you, Emilio. Appreciate you, brother.
So we'll see you later. Thanks for coming too. I mean, if you want me to pull him over here, I can.
Dude, that's super good, man, having Emilio on. Thanks, Kyle, for coming hang out with us.
I just thought maybe since he was on, I could have shown him because he would have seen him. I'm waiting to see that hognose, actually.
Nah, he'll shoot you that. He'll shoot you a picture on that, I'm sure.
The problem is when I see certain animals, like the true ghost bull snakes is what what got me into the bull snakes. It was and here's the thing too. The crazy thing about the bull snakes is I saw there was a bunch of different morphs. I saw that they were relatively affordable. I saw that no matter what you do, like no matter what you breed, they're all within a price range. They don't have massive drop off. And it's just a better, like, I want to have animals that you can put up for a certain price, and you don't got to worry about that 6 months if they don't sell. You got to drop the price on them to compete with everybody else. With the ball pythons, it's a different story because there's so much massive influx of production that it's hard to regulate the pricing. At the beginning,
That's true, brother.
At the beginning of the season, I saw snakes for 25,000. They're already down to 17.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it was, you know, that stuff happens. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the brand new coat, like I'll tell you, for instance, I know why Emilio said he wouldn't get the Cosmo female. Because if we don't raise our females like some of these other people, we're not going to breed them at 16 months. So we need a male. And some of these guys, the value drops on those codominant mutations 80% sometimes in 1 year.
Wow.
It could go from 16,000 down to like 4,000.
I got some stupid ass filter on me. I don't know why. I don't even know how to turn it off at this point. There's some fucking filter on me. It looks like I'm wearing makeup.
Yeah, last night I was in a girl's live with her family and stuff, and like I was trying every filter I could try.
Yeah, thank you, Reptile Keeper 95. You the man. You guys, this turned out to be an awesome show. Kyle, thanks so much for here we go. It's the elf on a shelf. You know, that's hilarious.
Well,
this was a great show, guys. Next week, Adeline Robinson, the best artist in the U.S., perhaps the world, of all things reptile and exotic and rare species of animals. Very nice person once you meet her, too. I've got a signed print of hers, and I've met her now 2 or 3 times, and I hop in her lives here on TikTok, and she's a very nice person, genuinely. So she is our guest next Wednesday, the final guest of 2024. And that'll be a wrap. And we've got January already booked. I haven't bugged people about dates, but I will before the week's over. And we're about to book up February too. So we are rolling into exotic pets in 2025, guys.
He is into reptiles too. Like she does have some reptiles, and
I've
known Adeline for quite a long time, and she actually, like, before she even did the art, she actually had
She's been doing it 15 years, she told me.
I don't know if it was her dad or if it was someone that she knew. They had like all this venomous stuff laid out at Tinley, and it was all educational type things. She would help with that.
That is the best filter.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can shake the ears, the tips of the ears.
Oh, Jesus Lord. This is funny.
You know, I mean, so yeah, like, I mean, you know, I've known her for quite a long time. And she, but this is what I will say. There ain't nobody like Tel Hicks. I don't know if you remember Tel Hicks at all. Tel Hicks was another he was the most famous reptile artist ever. Like, I think ever. And
really?
If you ask her about him, he used to be the one that he had all the art at the NARBC, and he used to have where he was even doing the art at the NARBC. But when he passed, she kind of took his place.
Yep, she was painting on that large salamander painting when I was there in St. Louis.
Yep.
So it should be a good show, something different. Like last week, we had Charlie from Shed Testing on.
Yep.
You know, we do different things. You know, we've had keepers and rescue folks like Exceptionally Exotic that are here for fun, that love the animals, but they're not breeders. You know, we've had tarantula people, of course, Ashley from TNA Chameleons. We're gonna nail down some Krusty and Leechy. We got Chris from we got him for Leechies coming up, and so we will keep spanning the various species, especially in reptiles, for damn sure. We got alligator commitment. We got a gator guy. So we'll just keep grinding, man. And we'll have Billy from Mutation Creations coming up in 25. We'll have Marcus Jane out of Canada as well coming on. So we've got some other cool stuff popping in 25, I think, in the first few months. So, all right, guys. Awesome show, Kyle. Thanks for your time. Thanks for playing ball, being so agreeable since I called you a month ago about this.
Yep.
You're always great.
I like TikTok. Like I like TikTok better than like I like MJ's show, but to be on, like I like TikTok to be on a little bit more. And there isn't a lot of podcasts on TikTok. Like I don't mind Hair Down Fridays, but I just like the atmosphere here better. And not the gifting. Like I don't care so much about the gifting. I mean, that was a really close friend of mine that came in here before.
Uh-huh.
I could tell you the one that sent me all that. I mean, I could tell you more about that, but it's nobody's business.
Well, that's the cool thing about it is, it doesn't matter much to you, but it is neat, the interaction, whether it's a gift or a comment or whatever, that interaction is really, I think, even Emilio said he had a fun time. Dread, every time we've had somebody on here that's a serious Instagram YouTube player that doesn't go TikTok.
And Emilio's not a big TikTok guy either.
No.
So
they come on here and say they like it and they have fun and they're going to do it again. They always say that. It's amazing.
Rhea, because I want to be an elf. That's why I'm an elf.
that's why he's an elf.
Dude, your voice with that face is fucking
It's so fucking funny, dude. It's awesome. I love it.
That's my niece right there.
Because hello, niece. I'll watch my mouth. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
She's 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brea. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. She's already been banned from TikTok 2 or 3 times.
Oh.
She's an outlaw already. Heck yeah.
Yeah, she's already been banned a few times.
Running with the devil.
You know, so it is what it is. I mean, I just, like I said, I try to have fun too. You know, you can't, that's one thing too, you got to keep this fun.
Yeah.
You know, I have a video, Phil, I'm going to send you a video of, South Bay reptiles at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
South Bay, yeah.
I'm gonna send you some stuff. Like South Bay gets on here super late at night, and the other night he had makeup on, and like he was all kind of tipsy, and like man, he went in about like simps and everything, and it was it was pretty cool. But it is what it is,
Yeah, I've definitely caught some of his lives. I get it. I don't know a lot about the guy, honestly. I really don't.
He's out here by me. He's cool. I met him at the local show.
He moved to Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So just recently.
Yeah, within the last month, like Chucky.
Okay, so I seen him at the Ventura show before that must have been right before he moved.
Yep,
okay.
Chucky Madrid, the guy that was in here, actually Josh is at his girlfriend's house right now in Texas or something. So Chucky's actually taking care of his animals in that for him because he's
all right.
Oh wow, okay.
Now, hey, Dredd, the reason he probably left California was because you know how the rent is and the property taxes, and like I know a lot of people that were out there, like they moved to Oklahoma.
Dude, it is. It's tough. If I could up and go, we would, but we just can't for a few more years. So,
Dredd, I didn't hear you make a commitment. Are you going to be at Pomona to meet Emilio in person in January?
I told you I'd be at Pomona.
You're going to do a live from Pomona.
I don't give a damn if I'm in a wheelchair and someone's pushing me around. I got to be at Pomona.
So we've done
Show
live
must go
from
on.
Dallas, NARBC, St.
And
Louis.
Kyle's probably going to fly to Pomona to hang out with me.
Actually,
to interview everybody.
When is that?
January 8th.
What day? The 8th?
I think it's like that.
I don't know if I can because I'm probably going to be going to Brazil on the 14th.
Oh, yeah. I'm just picking with you anyway, but I know you would if you could.
Oh, Yeti Gex is going to Pomona. Yeah, so she wants to go to Pomona.
Okay, yeah. No, I have to go to Pomona to represent. Hopefully, I can get me a daggum T-shirt made
You
before
have been
then.
banned. Stop lying.
Yeah, I'm going to go. And I didn't get to bring it up either with Emilio. I'm going to go. I want to go to Bob Vu's. I'm going to try to interview him again at his place in February. Is that when his show is for Southeast Reptile? I'll get back down to Atlanta for that. And then come August, we're going to have a V Unit. The people that are in the V Unit group are going to have a get together. They're renting a huge Airbnb. We're going to have the first ever V Unit bash down there for at Daytona Beach for the Daytona show. So I'm definitely going to that come August.
You know, here's another thing too. That combo that I showed on today was actually like a super voodoo combo.
I think I need to
super
pick your
voodoo,
brain
yeah?
a little bit more, Kyle, at some point, because I got something I need to work out, and I think you might be the man to help me. So, yeah, but I think that voodoo thing you're doing,
I did the
I can't
voodoo
wait to see that.
stuff. Like I'm just trying to do some voodoo stuff because like there's not a lot of people working on the jeans.
No, I think
Oh,
the
that's
voodoo
cool,
stuff is
Yeti Gex.
cool.
I drive 7.5 hours to get to Atlanta. I'm in Jonesboro, west of Memphis. So yeah, I get down there to Atlanta and I just go to mingle. I've just gone and networking has been dread. How much growth, I mean, have I had in networking when I went to Dallas and went to St. Louis? It's been the chondro, the highest levels of the US chondro community and the UK community, like welcomed me in with open arms
Yeah.
and like said, "Come to the party, come to Bill Stiegel's house party next Dallas show," and like they were so kind. And I'm a nobody, and they
This is the
invited
deal,
me to
though.
come
Just
hang
like
out.
Emilio was saying, man, you're the nicest guy. You're putting in the work. You know how to talk, right? You have the gift of gab. You do. You just have that energy about you, brother. I'm telling you. That's why
Well,
I called you in the middle of the night, out of my sleep. I woke up and called Phil. Let's do something that right and just go everywhere with it.
I will tell you this, the multi-species thing, like with the frog, like that frog show, like I learned so much on there, like it was unbelievable.
yeah.
Like it was unbelievable how much
No,
I learned on there. And I'm not a frog person whatsoever, but like man, I gotta, you know, here's the crazy thing.
makes you want to get a frog. Yeah,
in my
Frog Daddy's
bedroom,
awesome.
look at this. I've had this for like 4 years and it's still sitting in the box. I got this big 36 by 18 by like 18. It's an Exoterra. I got it on the NARBC auction for $200. It's a $500 one.
Wow.
It's the biggest one that they make. I won it for $250, and I've never set it up. And
Dude, you could have some cool froggies in
and
there.
I'm thinking about like either frogs or like I don't really know. Like that may even be a green tree thing.
Nah. I'm gonna turn everybody that I touch into chondro heads. I already converted Krista and I. We're gonna have siblings from Chuck of Chill Chondros. He's coming on in January, by the way. We're gonna have siblings, and so is Ryan from High Voltage Chondros in California. He's another one that's been a previous guest.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
gonna have siblings from Chuck's clutch that he's got right now. So
Yeah, like I said, I had chondros and I had a pair of them, and the one was a designer and the other one was a BAC LTC female adult, and like that designer was way more nippy than the adult female even.
I think
That's a-
I'd like to have a Biak. It's my buddy's got one I've seen firsthand. I love that snake.
Carly was telling me today on my live hangout this morning at 9 a.m. She was telling me, because I'm trying to do one every day at 9 a.m. to build growth. Apparently that's key for the TikTok algorithm, so I'm trying to do it. She said she told me what, on our show, she was going to breed captive born Biaks just for the breeder mill, because that's a secret recipe in the puzzle of designers.
Right.
And today I was like, man, I don't want to step on your toes. I was going to try to breed, if I do something, I'm not going to catch Bill Stiegel. I'm not fooling myself, but I don't want to just do captive bred Biak if there's not a market or if you're already doing it. She's like, no, you absolutely should.
No,
So
I know Garrick, you know, that's the guy that cohabitates his, but he shouldn't. He has like pure Aru and he sells them all. He should perfect those more because I think he could get more value out of them and do better with them if he would just work a little bit more with those. And he does have some designer too. Like, I don't know if you know TSK, like ballpython.com. They used to be the snake keeper, but they used, when they started their chondros, they literally bought every kind of locality from the farms. They bought hundreds and hundreds of them, and over the years they've scaled way back.
yeah,
They started out with all kinds of stuff, mite phase that they grew up out of the wild. You know, I mean, just the way they turned out, and they've
Yep.
their own stuff, and they've got some famous ones now. Like there's some blue one. They had a blue male that is a famous chondro. It's in people's pedigrees and stuff. You know, so I mean, I just, you know, I if I do it again, I'm gonna start out with babies, like maybe a few farm babies or something like that. I'm not gonna buy adults. I'm not gonna, you know, I might start with like pure locality types, like Aru, you know, the BX, and just get pairs.
Yeah. Manic Aru is not highly sought after, honestly. I would say I would recommend Manic Warrior, Jayapura, or Biak or Cyclops for localities if you were gonna.
My big thing is I want something more than a green tree, but I don't know, like, man, they're expensive. They're like crazy expensive. Like, I really, really want to get Amazon Basin Emerald tree boas is what I really want.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into those. I know that's kind of like an A-B equation for a lot of people, but I'm gonna do Western Madagascar tree boas if I do a 4 species. I'm not gonna do emeralds.
Like,
I just personal preference.
you gonna get the green Sanzinias, or is that what they are?
Well, no, they're not the green. Green is Eastern. That's the more green olive color palette. The Western is the more brassy copper brown yellow one.
Yep.
That's Western. That's the one I love.
I thought about getting both. You know, I've seen them around years. Man, it's crazy. Some of these snakes used to be like they used to be like cheap, and now that captive breeding has been went on, like they have went way up in.
Yep, I've heard that about those tree boas from Madagascar, and I've heard that about Bismarck ring pythons too, big time.
You know, I mean, some of the stuff is just it is what it is. I mean, you know, another thing too is like I'm not, you know, I don't try to buy something and like try to figure out all the bumps along the way. You know, like even proving a ball python mutation. I have a brand new mutation that there's only one other person I know of that has it right now. We haven't produced a super yet, and I don't have a name for it even, but I do have a single gene and I have a couple combos, but I've never produced a super.
Gotcha.
So we'll see once I can try to produce a super.
Yep, that's where it matters.
The problem is the original animal was a hypo champagne and it was hiding this mutation.
Ah, wow.
So I only have 2 females that are like, I have a pied combo that's het hypo up nearly up to size, and I have the adult female, and then I have a visual that's double het hypo pied. So like I want to take the male and make more with other things without the pied and without the hypo to even just get regular to try to make the super by itself with no other genes in it. Because it's definitely genetic. I've got like 4 or 5 animals, you know, but we'll see what happens with it.
Sweet, bro.
Heck yeah.
Can't wait to hear about that super. All right, guys, I hear my dog prance. I've got to get her walked. She hasn't been walked since this afternoon. I got to get her walked. I'm going to wrap her up. Kyle, thank you again. Dread, as always, much love, brother.
Love you guys. Love you, Kyle.
Thanks to Naughty Nation. We had over 1,000
Have a good
people roll
night.
through, 35 viewer average, and almost 38,000 likes. So awesome show, guys.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Thanks,
All
Kyle.
right,
Have a
good
good night,
night,
brother. Dread, as always, that was awesome. That was a really good one, bro. Have a good night, guys. Thanks, PJs. Thanks, Ripper. Peace out, guys.